C of Module 1, Dependency Injection for Loose Coupling. Part C.1, Introduction to Dependency Injection. In the previous video, I mentioned this concept, dependency injection. It is the most important concept of the whole class this semester. So we will, spend a lot of time to learn and use this concept. Actually, it's pretty simple, pretty easy to use. So not very hard to understand, but extremely important. All right, so let's start. First, let's look at the new problem of third solution. Actually, we got some idea. So in our discussion in the properties of the third solution, we already saw the service locator part still has some problem and we are not satisfied. So our conclusion is we are not satisfied with the third solution. All right, so what are those problems? The question, how to select an appropriate service locator, right? You need to do this. When you move your business service class from your old application, now you take it. You want to reuse it in your new project, new application. So the story will be different under the context of the new application. Now you need to consider how much code do you need to change. So that part is not that easy. Some component needs to take this responsibility. Select appropriate service locator. This responsibility still, that's an important responsibility. Some component needs to do it. Right? All right, so when we need to change the lookup logic in a component, we have to change the service locator in the component. The old service locator may not be useful in the new situation. So you may need to create a new service locator. So that kind of work you need to do. So this shortcoming will significantly reduce the reusability of the component. We agree with that, but the question is how to improve it, how to eliminate this problem. All right, so next we look at the responsibility shift. This time we want to shift this responsibility of resource retrieval. This responsibility we want to shift into the container. If the container can do this, then it's okay. Because we try to shift all the possible responsibilities into that container. So it is okay. It is a central module, central location. So we will do somewhere, someplace, but the best place to do it is inside the container. Okay, so. All right, so remove the resource retrieval burden from the component. All right, so this time, that service locator, the role of the service locator, resource retrieval. So that burden is still in our business service class, that component. We want to remove it. shift the burden to the container. Our goal, we want to shift that burden to the container. Yeah. All right. Change from the resource retrieval to resource delivery. So this is a big idea change. We changed the idea. We use a new idea. Old idea, we use the resource retrieval way. The new idea, we use the resource delivery way. Delivery. Container. From container to the service locator, right? Yeah. Container delivers the resource into the service locator. That way. Think about that. So this is an important change. Resource delivery. So you may wonder how to do it. Because you feel that sounds really good, but how to do that? How to do the resource delivery, right? It looks like magic at this point. Don't worry. Actually, that step is very simple. Yeah. Next few slides, I will tell you the answer. After you see the answer, it's so simple, so easy. You have seen this kind of thing before. You do not realize it. Yeah. It is so simple. Yeah. So we will see in our next slide. Difference between resource retrieval and a resource delivery. What's the main difference? Big difference. Yeah. First, for the retrieval, the component actively retrieve. Here, remember, I used this word before. Actively, yeah, it initiates the action. Actively, yeah, the component. So that's the business service class. Yeah, this component means the business service class. Actively do this action, retrieve the resource from the container. Yeah, so that's the retrieval. Okay, that's the meaning of the retrieval. Now the delivery. The way completely different. The component passively this time, not actively, passively just accept. Someone delivers a package to you, you just accept it. You do not go to some place, post office, somewhere to retrieve it. You just sit at your home, passively accept the package. Something like that. So that's a big difference. Yeah. All right. So the delivery of the resource from the container. But you need to do something, right? You just do this, passively accept. So you need to have some way to accept the resource. Other than that, you do not need to do anything. Yeah. So here you can see the burden is reduced another time. The burden to get a resource is reduced in another big level, big improvement. Yeah. So that's huge. This step is huge. Yeah. But how can you do it? Yeah. Our next slide, you will see how to do it. All right. Very simple. Yeah. How to inject the dependency. Dependency object, this time, look at this word. Very special. Inject. Inject. You can imagine closely related to that delivery, right? Deliver, inject. Similar meaning here. Yeah. All right. The procedure of dependency injection. So this whole thing, the whole action, we call it dependency injection. Yeah. Now here, let me describe the procedure. Very simple. Yeah. Yeah. All right, first you need to do preparation at your, some places. Yeah. All right. Container creates all the components and get them ready to work. Yeah. So this part, simple. Yeah. We know that. Yeah. Next, the components that are waiting for the dependency objects, our business service classes, those objects, those components waiting for the dependency object, they need to do something, so do not need to look up resource from the container. Yep. So they do not do this, but they do what? They need to do something. They need to do some preparation still, some mechanism to accept the dependency object. Remember, passively accept, but they still passively accept. But you need something to accept, right? So that kind of preparation, you need some mechanism inside your class to accept it. Yeah. So we will discuss that mechanism in our second half. Yeah. Two different ways. There are two ways to do it. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So that's the also preparation part. Yeah. Component side preparation part. The first preparation, that's the container side preparation. Second, then component side preparation you need to do. Yeah. Then the delivery part, the last step, delivery part or injection part. Container would deliver all the dependency objects to its managed components. Yeah. Those components, another name sometimes we call a managed component, managed by containers, that container. So also the special term managed components. Yeah. And here would through some mechanism, all right? Yeah. Through some special way to deliver it. Yeah. All right. So you can see the key here, how to deliver the dependency object to the component, the mechanism. So I talk about two different ways to deliver the dependency objects. All right. Next one, two dependency delivery methods. The first one we call a setter injection. You can see the way we use it, setter. You know the setter, right? If you know the Java Bean, you know the setter. In Java Bean, how do we change a property? So we use a setter of a property inside that Java Bean. Setter. Okay? Here, we just use another setter. So we treat that dependency object as a property. So we call the setter to set, to change the property inside our business service object. That idea. Okay? Yeah. Here. A component has setter methods for its dependencies. Each dependency to be accepted, yeah, you need to create a setter. Okay? You need to define a setter for that dependency object. That's very easy. Set something, assign, some instance variable to that, the parameter. The parameter is that dependency object. So the container can call the setter to inject, to assign, to change that dependency object. That simple, right? Yeah. So container will inject the dependencies by calling these setter methods. How simple it is, right? No magic here. No magic here. Yeah. Second, called constructor injection. Constructor. Yeah. The container can call the constructor. Yeah. The first time this business object is created, you need to call the constructor. When you call the constructor at the same time, you pass dependency object into this business object. Yeah. That's also another way. Yeah. So a component needs to define an appropriate constructors. Yeah. Appropriate constructors in order to support this method. So that's the two basic ways to do the dependency injection. So simple. So that's the reason I said very simple, but very useful, very important. The impact is huge. Yeah. All right. Then we need to make some comparison of these two methods. Yeah. These two methods. Yeah. First, the setter injection way, more flexible. More flexible. Yeah. Constructor way, less flexible. Why is that? Remember, constructor is only called when the object is instantiated at the beginning of its life cycle. After that, you won't call constructor another time. You won't. No need to construct it anymore. So that's why you only have one chance to do the dependency injection. But setter, you can call it any number of times, right? Later you feel you need to change the dependency object to a different one. Then you can call it setter another time to make the change. So that's why more flexible. So that's why most programmers, they prefer the setter injection. But this constructor injection, some people really like this way. Although not flexible, but it is restrictive, but it forces you to use it in the right way, right? Yeah. You have to use it in this specific way at a specific moment. In other words, comparing with the setter injection, so you cannot abuse it, right? So it reduces the chance that you abuse the dependency injection, right? Yeah. So still, many high level tech people, so they like it this way. Okay, they strongly like this way. Yeah. Although there are many differences, yeah. But for you, just based on your own analysis, try to choose the right way to do the dependency injection. Yeah. All right. Next, I want to show you how to make it happen. So it is very simple. Yeah. Main change in service class. Remember, in our business service class, the main change we need to do, accept, right? Accept the dependency object. And here, we want to use the setter method. So we need to create a setter for our dependency object. All right. Add a setter, report service, set. Look at the setter. Yeah. This is the property. Report generator, that's the property of this component. Yeah. Set report generator. Then just a usual setter, right? A typical setter. Just a few lines. That's simple. Yeah. Now you are ready. You are ready to accept the delivery from your container. Yeah. So the container can call this setter to inject dependency object. Now, in the next slide, we will see how does the container inject this dependency. All right, so our last slide of this part, dependency injection in container. Here we write the container code. The container is very simple for this example. First, the container class. Inside it, we need a map object components to store all the components. I mentioned this before. Here we use Java generics. Yeah, you need some background of this one. Yeah, I think for this part, at the end of this part, I have some time. Hope 10-minute time. I explain this, basics Java generics. I explained the Java generics technology a little bit. Yeah. So for those who are not familiar with this concept. Yeah. All right. Then container constructor. First, we construct that components as a map object so we can store all our components in this object. Yeah. Then this time the implementation class in container, you need to make the choice which implementation class to use. So you need to make the choice. Yeah. All right. So you do it after you create that object. You store under the name report generator. Yeah. You store it. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. All right. So then how to do injection? So think about it. You need to do injection. Okay. All right. So the report service. So you create a report, your business service class, instantiate it in the container. All right. After that, this is the dependency injection step. After that, so you have your dependency object. This is a dependency object. So you have your business service class, service object. So then you call setter. Dependency object is injected here, passed as the argument to this method. Then this business object accepts its dependency object. Accepts. Delivery. From the container point of view, delivery. From the business service point of view, accept. Yeah. Then you store your business service object into that map object. Okay? All right. So you get everything ready. This is the preparation. All preparation. All right. Yeah. But you still need to do another thing. Provide a mechanism to retrieve each component by key. By its key. Yeah. So that's the container. Yeah. How to use it? Here, you do not see how to use it. Use it in our main class. Remember, we have a main class. In our main class, we have a main method, right? Main method, right? Yeah. In our main method, we get a container instance, right? So we can get a container instance. Static instance, right? From the static instance, can we retrieve the business object? After retrieve the business object, can we call its method? Because the dependency object already injected, right? So we assume it is already ready to do the work. So we just call generate method. Generate. Yeah, it has some generate method, right? And we just call it. It will generate that report. The dependency object already there. It has the mechanism, so it has the way to produce the data. Okay, yeah. All right, so here you can see this solution, you can see much better, greatly improved. In this example, we use the dependency injection design pattern here. Yeah. And a further analysis, so we will do in our next video. So we will do more discussion and another round improvement. Yeah. All right, so let me stop this video first.